Welcome back to our weekly explainer of the global polyethylene bazaar. We are diving right into the moving parts and future trends for the second week of July 2026. Look, if you want clear, structured insights without all the background noise, you are exactly where you need to be. We're going to break down the global data step by step today, and the ultimate goal here, to help you make informed, highly tactical decisions. Let's get right into it. But first, just a quick reminder of who's bringing you this data. Polymer Bazaar is built on three main pillars: price, prediction, and profit. It's that simple. We take all these complex, swirling global shifts and boil them down into structured, easy-to-digest insights. Why? Because we want to give you actionable, bazaar intelligence that actually impacts your bottom line. All right, here's our roadmap for today's explainer. Number 1, we'll cover the global PE bazaar. Number 2, we're looking at China's supply dynamics. Number 3, we'll do some quick digital bazaar updates. Number 4, we'll check out the big Indian bazaar shift. And finally, number 5, we'll wrap up with tactical procurement advice. Okay, Section 1, the global PE bazaar, stagnation across the West. So what's really fascinating here is how universally sluggish the Western Hemisphere is right now. The symptoms vary a little bit by region, sure, but the overall vibe is exactly the same. Take the US bazaar, for instance. Trading activity is just dull. Retail channels for high-density polyethylene, they are absolutely saddled with excess stock. Buying interest is super weak, which is keeping blow molding, injection molding, and film-grade prices completely flat out of Houston. Meanwhile, LLDPE and LDPE transactions are pretty much muted. There are zero supply issues there, it's just a total flatline in activity. Now let's look at Europe and Turkey. Europe's main story this week is just straight-up oversupply. There's ample material everywhere, but consumer pull is severely depressed, and that's forcing downward price corrections on almost all grades. Over in Turkey, import supplies are visibly up, but purchasing? Highly sluggish. It seems like everyone's on full summer mode, taking beach days instead of buying, which is causing price slippages across the board. So yeah, stagnation is literally the defining word for the West right now. Moving on to Section 2, China's supply dynamics, a slight disruption. Over in the China bazaar, we're actually seeing a pretty different supply dynamic. Domestic material availability has noticeably tightened up lately, mostly thanks to a wave of scheduled plant shutdowns. But, and this is a big but, this tightened supply hasn't exactly sparked a buying frenzy. Far from it. Demand is still remarkably dull. Buyers in China are actively pushing back against high-priced materials. They're being super cautious and sticking strictly to hand-to-mouth procurement. Almost no one is taking big risks. Let's look at the actual numbers settling in China this week to put that in perspective. HDPE is sitting at 7,600 RMB per metric ton. LDPE is quite a bit higher, coming in at 9,650 RMB. And LLDPE is settling right down there alongside HDPE at 7,553 RMB. Seeing these price disparities is absolutely crucial because it perfectly reflects how that cautious, hand-to-mouth buying strategy is playing out across the different grades, while overall supply is constrained. All right, Section 3, Digital Bazaar Updates, AI-powered insights. Just a quick tip on how technology can keep you ahead of the curve here. You can actually get these weekly reports, direct price predictions, and future trends sent straight to your phone. Just WhatsApp the keyword PE to the number we've got right here, +91 93746 24365. Literally, in about 5 seconds, probably faster than you can even type your next text, our AI chatbot will ping real-time bazaar data right to your pocket. It's a real game changer for tracking these shifts on the go. Okay. Into Section 4, the Indian bazaar shift, volatility, and action. Let's set the stage with the baseline import, overseas offers coming into the Indian bazaar. For July 2026 shipments, the latest overseas offers for HDPE raffia are hovering right near that $1,190 per metric ton mark. That's on a CIF, Nava Shiva, and Mundra basis. So keep that $1,190 in the back of your mind as our baseline, because we're about to dive into some really intense local volatility. Domestically, the big story is that Indian producers implemented some incredibly sharp price revisions this week. I mean, ex-works prices were just slashed across the board. We're looking at a steep drop of 9 rupees per kilogram for both HDPE and LLDPE grades. And LDPE definitely wasn't immune either. Those prices were trimmed by 5 rupees per kilo. This is a massive, immediate reaction from domestic producers who are literally just trying to force some movement in the bazaar. Now, to kind of cushion the blow of these rapid cuts, they announced an official measure, a price protection scheme. It's designed to shield the Indian bazaar from immediate volatility. But here is the kicker. Look at the highly specific date attached to it, July 15, 2026. That date is fast approaching. It's acting as a protective buffer, sure, but as we're about to see, it's also acting as this massive psychological barrier for the entire industry. Which brings us perfectly to Section 5, Tactical Procurement Advice, the July 15th Catalyst. I want you to listen to this quote because it hits the nail right on the head regarding the current pulse of the bazaar. Even existing early bird discount schemes have completely failed to spark a buying mentality among converters. Let that sink in. Why is this happening? Well, processors have zero urgency to stock up because sales of their own finished goods are, frankly, lackluster. So when you combine sluggish finished goods sales with a raw material supply that's completely unconstrained, you get a buying pulse that is totally flatlined. So how do all these factors snowball into this intense speculation we're seeing? It's really a three-step compounding effect. First off, processing volumes are fundamentally sluggish. Second, you have recent escalations in global geopolitical tensions keeping everyone super on edge. But third, and this is for sure the big one, the entire industry's attention is just glued to New Delhi because of that looming July 15th basic customs duty deadline. Everyone is basically holding their breath to see what the government will do, and that uncertainty is just paralyzing the bazaar. And that brings us to our definitive purchase opinion for the week. Look, true clarity is just not going to emerge until we get much closer to that July 15th deadline. Plus, local producers might honestly have no choice but to cut ex-works prices even further if processing volumes don't pick up soon. So our absolute clear advisory right now is this. Avoid building heavy inventories. Procure strictly for your routine, immediate requirements. In this kind of environment, hand-to-mouth is really the only strategic play you've got. If you found this breakdown helpful, there is a ton of deeper analysis waiting for you. Go ahead and download the full PDF report at polymerbazaar.com/future-trend/PE. Also, definitely make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any of these weekly updates. And hey, if you need direct help with buying or selling leads across India, our dedicated relationship manager is ready to chat. Just call +91 93138 24365. Before we sign off, I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought. It's the exact question keeping the whole Indian bazaar up at night right now. Will New Delhi actually roll over the July 15th tariff waiver, or are they going to let it lapse? Honestly, the answer to that question is going to completely dictate the momentum of the entire supply chain moving forward. We're going to be tracking the data super closely, and we can't wait to uncover the answer with you in next week's Explainer. Until then, stay focused and happy learning.